This 12-volt roof fan can be used to bring air into the van, reversed to exhaust air out of the van to create a nice cross breeze. It has a hood so it can be opened and used in the rain. It has a thermostat which can be set to automatically come on if it gets too hot inside the van, and comes with this remote control. If you like this fan, stay tuned to see how to install it.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the second video in our series on building out a 2021 Mercedes Sprinter camper van. Today we're diving into a game-changing product, installing a Maxx Air Fan. It works on those hot summer days and keeps a fresh breeze flowing. I'll walk you through the 4 steps to complete this, and I'll show you, in my opinion, one of the best products to use as part of the install. It's an adapter that makes installation much easier, so it saves a lot of time and makes it easier to get a really good seal to ensure no leaks when done. I've used it on multiple vans now, and I'll use this each time moving forward, so stay tuned for more information on that. So before we get started, let's talk about what you'll need. First is the fan. When you unbox it, you'll have 3 main parts: the fan itself, the flange, and then the trim piece. We'll set the trim piece aside for now because that will go in later once the sealing is finished. In terms of tools, you'll need a jigsaw, a drill, sealant, screws, safety glasses, a trash bag, and painter's tape. The trash bag and painter's tape will save pain later on. And I have links in the description below for the tools and materials I use, so check that out and feel free to ask any questions you have in the comments and I can clarify. So first things first, step number 1, we select the location on the van ceiling or roof to install the fan. Think about where you want the fan when the van is fully built out. This fan can be an exhaust fan or a regular fan, so it's sometimes nice to have exhaust by the kitchen or the bathroom, or a fan close to the bedroom, for example. For this van, we selected section 7. That means it's between the van roof rib supports, the 7th section back from the front, and this is where the adapter comes in that I talked about earlier. This adapter goes directly onto the van roof and then provides a flat surface to mount the fan to. As you can see, it fits perfectly here over the roof ribs, so you don't have to build it up with butyl tape, and allows a great seal between the roof, the adapter, and the fan. I ordered these from DIYvan.com, and I'm not sponsored by these guys. I just really think the product adds a lot of value. I've used them in my last couple of builds, and this is how I'll install these going forward. So at this point, I also use the adapter to mark where the opening should be. Make sure you have it in place where it settles onto the ribs, and just mark the inside with a pencil. Now that the spot is marked, I go back inside the van and tape up a trash bag to catch the metal shavings we're about to make from cutting the hole. This saves on trying to vacuum these up later on. They can tend to get everywhere. Now it's almost time to cut. I mark off with tape on the outside of the line so I don't scratch the van paint. And another tip here, use a brand new metal jigsaw blade each time you do one of these. Having a new sharp blade means a better, smoother cut. After cutting, I use a deburr tool to smooth out the edges. And another tip here, don't use your finger, no matter how tempting it might be. And a couple more things to prep before moving on to the next step. Number 1, rough up the paint with a Scotch-Brite pad so the sealant sticks better. And number 2, I paint the edges of the cut metal for rust prevention. Anytime I cut metal, I paint the raw edges. If this fan's gonna rust, I just don't want it to rust somewhere that I've worked on it. Now we're ready to install the adapter and the flange. There's basically 3 steps here. First, installing the adapter. As mentioned, this is the piece that goes directly onto the top of the van, so put 2 beads of sealant on it. I use Sikaflex 221 for this step. Now take it up to the top of the van and put it in place. Push it down to ensure a good seal. It's okay and even good if a little sealant oozes out the side. Next, you'll want to apply a bead all the way around the adapter and smooth it out. Finally, I set a few heavy items evenly on it. Now allow that to dry overnight. Next, install the support pieces underneath. I used the support pieces also purchased from DIY Van. They're expanded PVC. I built the frame and secured it to the ceiling with window weld adhesive and clamps. Having these support pieces gives the fan something bulky to screw into rather than just the thin metal roof, and it gives you something later on to attach the finished ceiling to. Now let this dry overnight again. Third step here is to install the flange. Put a layer of butyl tape around the flange, take it up to the roof, set it in place in the hole, and make sure the screw holes for the fan are on the sides and not front to back. Now screw it in all the way around it. Once installed, come back and put a generous amount of sealant over the screw heads and around the flange where the fan meets the adapter. Now for the exciting part, placing the fan in the opening. Make sure it's aligned and seated down, and then secure it with the 4 screws provided. And there you have it. That's it. The Maxx Air Fan is installed. It's ready to be wired up whenever you're ready. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos.